Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for the Northwest Divide,
In the
where we
building.
give you a man and a local scouser in one building, in one
What
city,
are you
in one
talking about,
stream.
bruv? What are you talking about? I'm an Al Hilal fan, bruv, a Scouser. Who do you think you've got in your team right now?
Wow. Wow.
I'm a,
You glory supporter. Get back to where you belong. Liverpool's midfield. Hold that. 007. Are you going to watch that film, by the way? There's a new film, 007, around
Can
the
I ask one
corner.
question? Can I ask one
Yeah.
question? I think it's very interesting. You have full reign to attack me right now. The first thing you do is tether yourself. How are you going to mention your 7-0 defeat in an attempt to tether me?
No, I said 007 in terms of targets.
No, but you
Get the
mentioned 7.
results in the
But you're
past.
very familiar with it, with a 07, aren't you?
Well, are you familiar now? We're together now, but for different ways. We're together. You've got 007.
Why are we why are we 007?
Because you've not got Jude Bellingham, little Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Lavia. The list can go on. There's so many in that list. I'm struggling.
I think it's more than 7. I think it's more than 7, just to let you know. But
I'll
agree.
Wow. Oh my days. But anyway, how are you, my friend? How are you doing? It's been a very tough few days for you. But how are you, mate?
Fine. Like, I can't complain. I've got a beautiful life, you know what I mean? I get to talk about football for a living, so I'm not going to complain on that front.
Yeah.
When the football isn't going your way, that's when it gets emotional. And that's when
it
becomes a bit of a strenuous time. And listen, I appreciate all the people who have came to the channel over the past few days.
Big up.
Of the saga. Big up to them, and big up to everyone in this chat, by the way. Make sure you smash those likes, people. But overall, it's very draining. It's very draining when because Saeed, you saw the way it went, innit? One moment it's Caicedo's a Liverpool player. Second of all, Lavia, we have personal terms agreed with him anyway. Then we've done the £60 million bid, which we denied, and then we got caught out for lying because the Southampton person came out and literally said, like, the board director, it weren't like some journalist. He came out and said himself, like, it's because Chelsea had a bid that was accepted. So I'm sitting there thinking, hang on a minute, what? So, like, yeah, like, do you know what it is?
And also, you only made the bid at one point. It was only you that made the Caicedo bid. And it was like Chelsea have not made a bid. Then all of a sudden, he still wants Chelsea. And I'm like, hold on a minute, that don't make sense. And Liverpool getting rejected in broad daylight. You know what I mean? When you move out to Gyal and you're like, yo, I want to take you out. And she just rejects you and pies you off. Liverpool got pied off. And then they decided to go back to the other girl that they decided to dump. And that was Lavia. And then she said, hold on a minute. You just got to another bird over there in front of my face. And you think I'm going to go back with you?
Do you know what it was, absolute... Do you know what it was?
Yeah.
Nah, the girl just looked too nice. But I'm a faithful guy, innit? I'm a faithful guy. But this one was just too
yeah. Fair enough. Temptations in life. You know, the Satan gets involved and people are there. You know, and he gets involved. The devil gets involved. You see the devil and you're like, you know what? I want a piece of that. And they led you astray, man. That's what happens, man.
Do you know what? Are we the biggest L of this transfer window?
By far. More than you can believe. More than you can believe. You guys have got the biggest L because you went for 2 players and you got none of them. None. That is the biggest L ever. You see Grizz's speech. Grizz did a speech yesterday on the Big Six.
Did he? Oh, no, he didn't do like a full speech, did he? Wait, how long was it roughly? If you had to estimate the time of how long it was.
It was about 3 minutes long.
That's poor.
3 minutes long, yeah. And he did a whole speech.
The man has a eulogy for his death.
He was distraught. You guys went from... I remember Cal, big up to Cal, yeah, from Coppish. He was getting excited. Muntz was getting excited. The whole fan base was like, Chelsea. They were taking a mick. And then all of a sudden, Liverpool gets slapped in the face. No Caicedo and no Lavia. How must it feel, though, banter aside, like, how embarrassed do you feel as a fan, like, knowing your football club have allowed this to happen? And even Klopp came out and said, well, we have spent that much money and, we've agreed this. And he came out and just said, yo, listen, don't worry, guys, we've got a new player.
It's a big, big shame when I come on stream with Saeed, and then Saeed has ammo to tear me. When you beat me in verbal debate, Saeed, that's when I know I'm in a bad position. Okay, so what?
That's every week for me.
Every week, come on, Saeed. Let's not patronise the audience now. You know what I mean? Let's not patronise their intelligence. No, seriously. The second I realised, okay, I am getting cooked by Saeed, that was when I realised I had to pop. So yeah, I don't feel good, and in fact, it's kind of like if Hasbulla comes and kicks you in the shins and you can't move no more, right? I'm in that predicament right now because now I've got Chelsea fans who finished 11th terroring me. I've got you who we beat 7-0 saying things to me. It's like you think you can talk to me, but you can't because Liverpool have made it that way. But you couldn't before.
Liverpool have
Even though
made
you
it that
finished
way.
above us,
Yeah.
that bounced off me like a bully. Oh, we finished above you. Well done. First time. And also on top of this, well done on your Champions League, but you're going to get knocked out in the round of 16 anyway. Great.
Oh,
Might even
the salt. I love it. Can I get a bit of salt? Anybody got a bit of salt?
Was that actually a bit too salty?
Really,
Do you reckon that was too... Chat WRL, was that salty?
Yeah, that was very salty. That was very, very... I felt it. Yeah, that was very salty. Yeah. Go on.
I only charge for me salt as well, Saeed, so I'll send you my invoice later.
There you go, man. There you go. I'll send
you. Seriously, no, we're in a good situation at all. And yes, I agree. We are the biggest laughing stock in the transfer window. And I just have this weird feeling that, do you know, like, as you mean to go on, like...
Yeah.
I have a feeling that could be the case right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm a little bit in two minds right now. I'm a little bit in two minds. But the one thing that I'm confident with is the attack. I don't have a clue what we're going to do with the defensive midfielder situation. And that whole...
You've got Ferrari in attack, and you've got a
Fiat
Punto. Mondo or a Punto, or you've got I don't know, man. These Nissan Micro in the back, like. Yeah, you know how bad that is? Like, what's the point of having a Ferrari at the front, but your back's falling off? You know what I mean? Like, that's not good enough. You know, you're gonna be literally attacking and then not be able to concede. So,
Saeed, have you saw all the Liverpool fans coming out and like trying to claim FFP and all that stuff? Have you seen it? We're getting desperate, bro. We're getting desperate,
bro. Like, you know what it is with FFP? Yeah, as much as you can fight it off, it's one of them where. I'm just waiting for that day Man City just go bust. I'm waiting for that day. Yeah, I'm waiting for the day Man City are done. They get charged. It's over. The Arabs go, and we're back to dominating again. I'm waiting for that day, but it is a desperate move. And that's what Liverpool are doing right now. They are shouting FFP, which in reality, there are some situations where you are true, but in reality, there is the feeling that Chelsea have found a way to manage and navigate away from that.
They haven't done nothing. It's a desperate ploy by Liverpool fans to say that they've been cheating and whatnot. They haven't cheated. Like they in 18 months' time, this could come back to bite them. As we stand right now, and that would be if they didn't get Europe. As we stand right now, they're fine. And with the long-term contracts and stuff like that, and with the fact that FFP changes within the UEFA board, and also the Premier League, I think, changing next year, and then the UEFA changed it this year. So the point that I'm leading to is that Chelsea know this, they've analysed this, they've kept up with it. So people can call it loopholes, or people can just call it following the rules year by year, but technically they haven't done anything wrong, bro. And I've had City, because I said that on a video, that I don't think Chelsea have done anything wrong, because Liverpool fans were coming to me saying, no, but Chelsea have actually done it. Look how much they're spending, $1 billion across 3 windows. Okay, yes, we agree that that's insane amounts, but then we also have to contextualize what is FFP right now, because all these people saying FFP or claiming FFP, one, aren't financial experts, and two, don't even know the FFP rules and regulations. They just think you can't spend over a certain amount, but that's not the case. There's more context to that. And then I'll get City fans saying to me, well, why don't you say that about City? The difference is that you have got breaches for things that you have already done in the past. So if you have breached FFP in the past, that doesn't apply to the FFP rules right now. So that's a completely different story and argument. Todd Bowley's a smart dude, bro, and he's literally teared that club all the way down. Got them all the way back up. Even like when I watched that first game, I'm thinking they need a new winger. Raheem Sterling's dead wood, bro. Like he's a genuinely
But now
average
they're getting
player.
They're getting a lead.
Exactly. Now this is what I'm saying. Not only do they accommodate the midfield and then the depth to the midfield, but then they also go out and get Elise. So it's worked out in their favour massively. You know what I mean? That's a Man United fan, by the way. So
what was that? Sorry.
I was going to say that's a United fan giving me a call to tell me.
Listen, they're
Nightmare.
here, man. They're here. They're everywhere, man. United fans are everywhere. Big up to Himanshu. He says, say, bro, make me a mod, please. I'm a mod on Turkish Big Six, and every promise to set you, bro. I'll come on your channel too, James. Mod me there. All right, no worries. I'll mod you, man. Don't worry. I'll mod you. Big up to the super chat, though. There's over 1,000 people in the building already. Make sure you guys are liking the video. The
Right.
only way to support the channel is to be liking the video. Get some more people
Yes.
around the world. So make sure you like the video. You know
That's right.
what? This is the thing, though, man. And this idea for me yesterday that I don't know how much wages he's on. Is he on 250k wages that they've offered Chelsea? Chelsea have offered
Who are we
250k
talking about?
wages.
Caicedo?
Caicedo.
Yes.
So this idea and this notion for me that Liverpool couldn't afford it and couldn't match it, I think it's a bit of a false claim because you've sold Fabinho, you've sold Henderson. Them wages are meant to be so that it frees up the wages of Caicedo, a top player coming in. What's the point of having a model where you let go of players and then you don't replace them with better players on the wages that they had? Even if you said a combined the wages of Henderson and Fabinho. I don't know what they're on, by the way. What were they on, Henderson and Fabinho, roughly?
So Henderson was on 150k a week. I believe Fabinho was on around, correct me, but was that also 150k a week? It might have been 160, but I don't believe it was north of 200 at all. We have very few players who are north of 200.
So there you go. So that's what I'm trying to say. So this idea that Liverpool don't have the money that they had it because they bid it 150 million. But this idea that it was a case of they couldn't afford the wages is another false claim. It was the fact that he chose Chelsea. It's as simple as that.
If what people in the chat is correct, if they're saying that it's actually 150 or 160, whatever they're claiming, if it is around there, then yes, that should be something that we should be able to afford for a player that you're willing to break a world record transfer fee. And that's one problem with FSG, Saeed. They're not willing to increase the wage bill. It's like they're fearful of increasing that wage bill significantly, which some people say it's good because then it guarantees like no financial troubles. But again, though, like you've sometimes got to at least get to the boundary. We're so far away from the boundary. There's 18 teams who have outbought us. Like they've bought more players than what we have in the Premier League. 18 teams, and none of those teams have had the clear out like what we've had, besides Chelsea. But they've matched it with the ins. So that's the only real thing where I sit there and I go, okay, we've had the second, arguably like top 2 or 3 teams in the Premier League with the biggest overhaul. This is kind of discluding championship teams because, as we know, championship teams just do a madness when it comes to buying Premier League squads. So outside of them, like we are now in a position where every single team is either 1 year better than what they was last year or they've made those necessary adjustments which they needed. Us, on the other hand, we haven't done these things. So that's why I'm sitting there now and I'm thinking, okay, well, now the Fabinho and Henderson thing is looking rather stupid. Because in one sentence, you can say, okay, well, it's good that we've let go of older people and now we can bring in new younger people. But if you're not going to replace them, then they actually could have been somewhat useful, because now we're looking at Bajcetic as our number 6 if he's fit.
No, he's too young, man. And another thing as well is
he's like James, this, with all due respect.
I know, man. He's not ready for that in that aspect. He's one for the future. And also, you said last summer you're not going to spend money on midfielders because you're going to spend it this summer. So this summer's coming. Yes. You've done it too late as well. You've dilly-dallied around Lavia.
That was an excuse. That's what it is.
Yeah, there you go.
It's relay because it's about keeping the carrot dangled. If you keep a carrot dangled, you give people something to look forward to. It's basic psychology of all life, but they use it in football as well. Here's a carrot. You follow it. Okay, we're getting Jude Bellingham next year. I can wait for that. Let's just try and get top 4 in the meantime. Okay, we've just missed out on top 4, but we could still get Jude Bellingham, apparently. We miss out on Jude Bellingham. All right, then what about Tchouaméni? Tchouaméni likes a tweet literally saying, no, what Tchouaméni is not interested in leaving Real Madrid around the time that Liverpool were linked. Yeah. Bro, Liverpool fans, like, I love my fan base, bro, but like there's so many of them who I just cannot associate with because we are the creepiest fan base when it comes to, like, people will find an old tweet from 2013 of like them simply mentioning Liverpool. Like, not even in context of supporting, but like they'll even bring up things of like Jude's mum when she's mentioned Liverpool before, and I'm just thinking, please stop being this bad. Like, this is poor, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely a tough one right now. I think it's one that a lot of us need to swallow, and especially it's a tough one for Grizz.
It's a tough one for Grizz. It is a tough one because he was involved. He was in the, he was in the front line.
It's tough when you report news. When you're reporting news and, you claim to be or to have sources in the know, it's tough, isn't it? Because I love Grizz, I think he's boss, but I just think it's tough when
You know what? He did get right though that Liverpool made a record bid. It's just that maybe he said
yeah.
things like "Hey Lavia" and "Hey this" and you know what I mean. And it's one of them.
He
It's one
gets
of
it.
them
He's a
where
happy guy. He's a happy guy, isn't he?
yeah, he's a happy guy,
So
man. So it is what it is. Big up to Zoetex says Lavia and Caicedo are early 20s. Growing up for them, Chelsea is a bigger club than Liverpool. Liverpool won Premier League club in 30 years, smaller club. You know this idea
factually
though.
an incorrect statement. Factually incorrect, by the way. I just want to notice this. Okay, fine. Well done. You got Lavia and Caicedo. But a factually incorrect statement. We've literally and also this narrative about they've won the same amount of trophies. We've taken 3 trophies off them directly. So I'm just saying to you, like, fair play. You want to say this, but off a fan metric, we've got more fans. Interactions, we get more interaction. And then if you want to say success, which I would also include, then of course I understand it's post 2000 for Chelsea fans. Great, because prior to that, it weren't nowhere near the fan base so sound. But the thing is, on a historicity basis,
funny.
Liverpool are supreme, and it's not even close, by the way. So, yeah, you cannot chat on this panel. You can chat with Arsenal, and that's your comparison. Okay? But thanks for the super chat.
Yeah. No, listen, big
I
up
just
to
don't
you.
like lies on the channel, Saeed, is all. You know what I mean?
There you go. No. Listen, they baited you out and you came out. So
can we all agree though? But can we all agree that Chelsea are a smaller club than Liverpool? Because that was just about telling the truth.
Liverpool are with United in terms of neck and neck.
That's right.
But I do agree with do Liverpool have that pull anymore? Because I did say it to Grizz in that aspect.
That doesn't mean big
that
club.
Pull.
That just means we've got an underwhelming ownership and we've got no project to excite these players. Maybe we don't have the finances or we're not willing to take as many risks. That's now a separate conversation. Is Todd Bowley more ballsy? Sounds great. I can agree with that. But the wording's wrong. And you know what I'm like with my terminology. So,
yeah, definitely. You got to use the right terms with James. Liverpool have reacted their pursuit of Ryan Gravenberch. The players open to joining Liverpool. This is from Santi, who normally gets stuff right. Again, you don't need Gravenberch. You don't need him. You bought Szoboszlai and you bought McAllister, 2 8s.
I hear you, but we still need more. I don't know what you mean.
You don't.
Stop
saying.
Okay,
You're
let me
building
just
a
break it
Ferrari.
down. Okay, let me just break it down. One sec. Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Jordan Henderson, James Milner, Fabinho. Chat, need I go on? Like, there's way more players. Arthur. Bro, that's
Arthur, no, don't use Arthur, man. There was never a player, man. Come on, man.
Was he still an option going into last season? Was he still an option going into last season? So, yeah, he wasn't a good option and he was never useful fit. But was he a player in the squad?
Yeah, he was in the squad.
Yes. So now that's one less centre mid. And think about it. We had a centre mid crisis last season. There was a reason why we had to get Arthur. So we've accommodated for 2 of the 7 midfielders who have left the club. What do you mean, Saeed?
But the thing is, though, it's like going to shopping, yeah? You're going shopping, you're getting all the ingredients, but you've not bought the flour. Why would you go and buy baking powder? Why would you go buy sugar? Why would you go buy everything else? But what needs, this is the raising agent. This is the thing that brings the flour up. You know, this is going back to school. I'm trying to, I'm trying to bring back, this is the thing that brings the cake or the bread up. You need that first of all. You haven't got the flour yet. And why are you going and buying all the other products when you haven't got the flour? And that's the CDM. Do you get that? And the centre back, I would argue as well. Is that not a fair point? You look confused there.
You always confuse me, Saeed. But you're my guy. Now you're my guy.
Understand what I'm trying to say to you. You've bought everything but the main ingredient, and that is the flour. Do you get it? You haven't bought the 6.
I'm just not wanting to get it, Saeed. Okay, I'm on to you, though.
You get it now?
No, you delivered it well. I'm just not happy with
man.
I'm just not happy that we're in the same sentence as flour is all. You get what I'm saying? Like,
no, but I'm just trying to give you analogies.
I think it's a great analogy. I don't have to like it, though, as a Liverpool fan. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, man. It's a bit shit. I think we need a lot. I think we need an 8. I think we need maybe 2 6s. But I'll take 1. Give me 1 6. Give me 1 8. Give me a centre-back. And somehow we can salvage this window. Do you know what? Do you want me to tell you my window right now? Ideal window. Give me an Asio. Give me Palhinha. I don't care if we spend 70 million on him. Go spend 70. Go spend 80. Don't give a fuck. He is top class on the ball. He's nice. Off the ball, he reads the game well, so I'll take Palhinha. He might be 28, but I don't care. He's a little bit more of a right here, right now signing. We all know how important
Right
he's been
here,
to
right
Fulham.
now. Yeah, he's more
That's
right
right.
here, right now.
That's
You know,
right.
in that
That's
aspect.
right. And
I
it
think
gives
for
time for
me,
Besiktas to grow.
yeah, it gives
So I'd
it's
say
time
those.
for Chelsea to grow. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? It's one of them where,
And then
again,
do you know who else I
rather
take?
than
Because I said I'd take a 6 in a centre mid, innit? So I said Inacio. I said, who did I just say? He's just completely gone out my head. Who did I
you said
just say?
Paulinho.
Palhinha,
Paulinho.
Palhinha. Sorry, we've been linked with Mega CDMs. So Palhinha, Inacio, and then I take Kone from Mönchengladbach. He's a quality player for me. So it just improves that squad depth. It just improves the competition. It's someone who we was linked with early in June. Manu
What
Kone,
about
his name is.
Decore? You're linked
No.
with Decore for 80 million, apparently. That's the region we're looking at right now. Decore, apparently they want 80 million. You guys are wanting around 60 million in that aspect. I think he's a good player, you know. I think he's a very underrated player. Like he was Palace's player of the year last season. I think he was very, very good. His first season was very, very good. He had a great game against Liverpool last season. Do you remember that game where he had a top game against Ulan? They won one. Was it 1-1?
Who are
Was
we
the game
talking about,
finished
sorry?
1-1?
Who are we talking about?
Decore.
Yeah, nice player. I don't think the ceiling's as high as what it would have been for Lavia or Caicedo, for instance, when it comes to Decore. But he's fine. And 80 million, I don't think he ever lives up to that. That's the only problem. I think Lavia could have lived up to that. I think Caicedo could live up to it. I don't see in a world where Decore lives up to that standard. I think he's a good player, and it probably goes probably like, you know, an Indeedy type player. You get what I'm saying? You know, good, never quite world class, but good. And that's the way I see Decore. I think if we're going to go and spend big money, go and get someone who has potential to be world class. And I think Palhinha is certainly one of those players. I think he can come into our team now and just simply raise the bar and just be, you know, really, really good. Because I think Szoboszlai would do well in a world-class team. I think Trent does well in a world-class team. We've seen that before. You know, Palhinha, I think he goes from a Fulham. If he goes to a team that's elevated in terms of quality, I think that now makes him elevated himself. And the good glimpses you see at Fulham, you see them more often if he joins Liverpool. I'd jump all over Palhinha and I pay a lot of money to go and get him. But then you've still got to worry about all the other positions. Decore's fine. He's just not what I'd prefer
He's not
out of all the
a
options.
choice. Yeah, he's not a first choice, but he's like I said, he had a first good season. I think technically he's very, very efficient.
He was rated
He's
highly
good
in
on the ball.
France. He was rated very.
Yeah.
Him and Tchouaméni were like the two guys in France at that time, like in terms of young number sixes. They were both being compared to each other. Like, do you like the way we compare players who are young right now, like in the Premier League fans do it. That's the exact same thing that was happening in the French league a couple of years ago with those two. So that's just to give people an idea. You know, Tchouaméni ended up doing what he was doing, and he was being compared to Tchouaméni. So that's why I think some people probably jump on, let's go get Decore because he's got a high ceiling.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Lewis says here, Anani fits straight into your Liverpool squad. Listen, man, that would be crazy. That would be the most desperate move ever if Liverpool were.
He starts. He starts right now. This second, El Neni starts for Liverpool. It's not even a joke.
Why? That's wild. That's wild.
Hey,
That's
listen,
wild,
the Egyptian link up between Salah and El Neni, though. Don't tell me that you don't want to see it, Saeed.
Oh yeah,
well, you
but
probably
then
do.
again, there was this rumor Salah would be leaving, and I didn't believe that, to be honest with you.
Nah, that's not true. That's not true. Same with Alisson. Apparently, Al Nassr was going to bid for Alisson, but that's not being entertained.
By the way, yeah, this notion that people don't want to live in Liverpool, yeah, they don't really live in Liverpool, do they? They live in Chester, these kind of areas, like around Liverpool.
Chester, Formby. Formby is in Liverpool, but Formby's like a more wealthy area. Some people live in Crosby. Around those ways. So yeah, there's a few places, but yeah, in terms of my ends, no players living around.
No, they don't live in Toxteth and all that, and you know what I mean. And then
the way you say Toxteth,
Toxteth's
the only place that you know in Liverpool.
It's the only place that I try and avoid. You know what I mean? So don't go to Toxteth.
Nah,
you know
I do well in Toxteth, Saeed. You'd be sound as well. I'd love you in Toxteth for your mouth.
All right, I'll come with James then, and then I'll be fine. But other than that, like you ain't gonna catch me there, man. But now listen, Liverpool, we'll have to see what they do, man. For Chelsea, yeah, I mean, Olise's coming through the door. They need a striker. Anything else that you think Chelsea need? Because it seems like they're just getting everything and everyone. So I don't know, man. People are saying title challenge. we tried to press Matisse yesterday to challenge for the title, and that obviously was
I
kind
don't
of
think that's
received in
fair.
it.
I don't think
You
that's
think
fair.
so?
I don't think
With
so.
the fact
No.
that they spent nearly £1 billion,
Does money equate to trophies?
money can equate to trophies. Yeah,
Does it equate to trophies?
no, it can never, because you never know what the balance of the team is and what goes on. And
So
look,
on
this
that
is it.
singular premise, we can't just say they're going to go and win the league because they've spent $1 billion in three
But
windows.
it's
Now we need to add
expectancy to
context.
challenge, though. My argument is an expectancy to challenge for the league for Chelsea. That's my. I
I
don't
think
think they're
they
gonna
need to
win
get
the
back in
league.
top four.
That's almost like
Let's add
saying
context. Let's add
that's
context.
almost like saying to a straight 8 student to go and get a C in maths. The bar's too low.
No,
That guy needs to go for B's and
because they got an
close to an
F.
A.
No, because they got an F last year. So if they got an F last year and now you've got a new exam a year later, how are you going to tell your student, let's go from an F to an A? That makes no sense. Now it's about getting them. Okay, let's try and work you to a pass. They finished 11th, bro. They finished bottom half of the table, mind you. Like, that's poor. Like, that's just.
I get that, but then that wasn't the expect. That's not what not what Chelsea are. They're normally a team who are in around that area and
Not in
should be
recent years,
challenging
they're
for the
not.
league.
Not in recent
Not in
years. They
recent
haven't won
years.
the
I think
league
they've
since
been poor.
2017, and they
But they've been
haven't
poor.
competed for the league for a long time as well.
They've got a fast track, almost course to win the title. Like they've been
Spent a
given
lot of money, but
spending power.
the money you spent does not equate to trophies, nor does volume of players equate to trophies. What this what this says to me is, okay, Chelsea have just acquired a whole new team. They've got that who's the centre back who scored against us? I forgot his name, but he's a new. That's it. He's coming from Monaco. Even though it was a lot of money, he's still young. Caicedo's young. Lavia's young. Enzo Fernandez is still very young.
No. I'm not buying that, James. You know why I'm not buying that?
No, because you haven't let me finish. That's why you're not buying it. That's why it's poor from you, Saeed. The way I'm leading to is that, okay, then do we expect a young squad who are inexperienced with each other, with a manager who's just joined, who's never won the league in the Premier League? Like, bro, to expect those circumstances to go and win a league title in the first season where they've all assembled together, that to me is a load of horseshit.
Okay, can I rebuttal that? If that's all right.
Yes, you may.
Okay. This manager that you're talking about is a Premier League proven manager in the fact that he's got a Premier League experience. He's worked with young squads before. The players that you're talking about, Lavia and Caicedo, they are balled out in the Premier League. They don't have this feeling that, you know what, they need to gel. They just come from the Premier League. There's no idea of gelling together. We're looking at a team who has spent £1 billion, and I keep stressing that because I feel like you have to understand the magnitude. This is not 300 million one summer. No, but I'm just saying to you, what they spent, though, is an anomaly. And it should be expected that Chelsea, with that money spent, should be at least challenging for the league. When you look
How
at
many
Man
league
City,
winners have they got in the starting 11?
They've lost De Bruyne. Sorry?
How many league winners have they got in their starting 11?
League winners, I'd say, you know what? I don't think there's any, Let me see. 2017.
Okay, so now we're expecting a full squad of non-league winners to go and win the league in the first season they've assembled together. Great logic. I like that logic. I think you're right.
No, but I think it's when you got to remember though is these players are not just any old random players. You know what I mean? These are guys who have won trophies before. Sterling, we got Thiago Silva in there.
Okay, and now please continue that list. Please continue that list because Sterling doesn't even start in their best 11 now.
They've got one of the best talents now in the league now. In Caicedo, Lavia, they've got depth. Got Enzo Fernandez.
What's a talent?
Winner. A World Cup winner.
What's a talent?
A talent is, a player who.
Ravel Morrison was a talent. Ravel Morrison was a talent.
Oh, come on, man.
Ravel Morrison. By the way, that was no disrespect to Ravel Morrison. No, that was no disrespect to Ravel Morrison.
Listen, I know. Big up my guy, Ravel Morrison. That's one of my guys.
He's boss. But by the way, I don't want anyone to think that was a dig or anything. But I'm just saying, you cannot expect Ravel Morrison just because he went to West Ham, for instance, to go and win West Ham the league or get them into Europa League. It just doesn't make sense.
Who are you comparing to, like Caicedo, or who are you comparing Ravel Morrison to?
All of them, because Ravel Morrison was a top talent. Can't we both agree?
He was a top talent, but he weren't that level where he could have been world class. Like these guys, Caicedo.
Ravel Morrison was touted to be world class at one point.
Nah, he weren't. He was a talent. He was a talent, but he weren't a world class talent.
Okay, then, and we wouldn't say that Caicedo was a world class talent just because he went for 115 million. It's about being opinionated, opposed to just saying the price tag means that you're world class. Go on, carry on.
No, I just think for me, like the way you've kind of compared Ravel Morrison to kind of Caicedo, and
Don't
one
get too
player that's come
caught
from
up
the
in the comparison.
youth academy, who's come up and he's risen up through that way, the
He was a
organic
top
way.
talent.
Sorry?
He was a top talent. You mentioned and referenced top talents. That's why I mentioned him being a top talent.
Yeah, well, there you go. But I'm just saying to you, like, Chelsea have got the basis and a nucleus to kind of challenge for the league. They've got depth, they've got talent, they've got idea, they've got a
How,
manager who's
when they've
been there
got two
before.
league winners, one of which is 38, and we both agreed before Sterling's average. So, okay, he's a league winner, but he's an average
By the way,
player.
I think you're talking about like I want Chelsea to win the league. I'm talking about challenging.
I know that you're
Challenging.
saying they should challenge, but then now I've got to say, then should they get the 90? Because now we're saying
One
challenge. That
game a
means
week.
they've got to be
One
close,
game a week.
correct?
One
Okay,
game a
let's
week as well.
both define challenge. We mean by challenge, we mean they've got to compete for the league and they've got to be close to winning the league, correct? Because that's what a challenge is.
Yes.
Yes. So you get into the final 4 or 3 games of the season, still within a shout. That's you who have challenged. I just need to make sure we agree on the definition.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, about April, May, going into May, challenging.
Okay, then fine. I'm happy with that. So
That's what I'm saying.
they
That's what
would
I asked
then
for.
need to achieve roughly 85 to 90 points, because if we're going to go off what City's been achieving,
This season. No, this season will be lower because they've lost De
no, it
Bruyne.
won't. City is
They've
still
lost
fine.
Gundogan.
They're
No.
fine. They're
I
fine.
think
They've
it's
still got
it's getting
Bernardo Silva
closer.
in there.
Arsenal getting better. Arsenal getting better.
I agree.
It won't be like
I
it won't
agree.
be 90 points.
And we won't
Arsenal are
expect
getting better.
Chelsea to get to where Arsenal have been when Arsenal have built this project for years and years and years, and it's Chelsea's first year.
80, I reckon 80, 85. That's where you're looking at nowadays. Because you've got to remember, teams are getting better now, like
And
Brighton,
should a
Aston
team
Villa,
that's just assembled together
Newcastle.
get 85 points?
With one game a week, with last season was an anomaly. They've added to the quality.
One game a
You're
week
looking
doesn't
at the
even mean
steps that
that,
they've
Saeed.
made. But anyway, listen, we're not going to be, we're going to be agreeing to disagree. Guys, there's 1.6K in here, and I don't even think we've got 500 likes. That's a disgrace.
Come
You know what?
on.
Forget Chelsea
Come
are a
here.
disgrace here. You lot are a disgrace, mate.
Sort
How
your
is
shit
there not
out,
even
mate.
500 likes?
Sort
Hey?
your shit out and smash those likes. Otherwise, I'll fucking get my mate Saeed on you.
Yeah, man. So people, make sure you smash the like button on the video. Got a couple of super chats that we didn't read out. Tori says United are in big trouble. The Liverpool side there. What is our style of play? How have we actually progressed? How long does Ten Hag last? We will discuss that next. Tactical bin bag. What a name that is, mate. He says, but big up Saeed, but why are you expecting a squad of 21 to 23-year-olds to win the Premier League straight away? We're trying to build a team to dominate, in my opinion. But again, these are not just average. So, okay, then Haaland and Foden, they're 21 to 23-year-olds.
Okay, then.
So,
So do you know
yeah,
when
I mean, like,
Caicedo
come
was
on,
at
mate.
Brighton? Do you know when Caicedo was at Brighton last season? Let's say I'm speaking to you on the 38th day of the season about Caicedo. Do you say he's world class?
He's not world class, no.
Okay. Would you say Lavia is world class on the 38th day of the season?
No.
Great. Okay, then. And who else have they signed? That guy from Monaco, the centre back, DSA or whatever his name is. Him, would you say he's world class?
You don't need a squad of world-class players to win a league. You need a couple in there. Yeah, I mean, you need a couple, and then that's
Okay,
it.
then now name me the world class players. I'll accept Thiago Silva. Now name me another.
Um,
Now we've got a problem, don't we, Saeed?
no, but the thing is, though, again,
No,
this
Saeed,
is
wait there. No,
this
wait there. Because that was deafening, right? You said a lot with that one There was a lot said. The chat heard it as well.
people are saying Cuckoo. People are saying Reece James, Enzo Fernandez.
Okay, then do you know what? I'll accept Reece James. I think Reece James is a great shout.
Enzo Fernandez.
No.
Enzo Fernandez.
What's Enzo Fernandez done to be proven that's world class?
Raheem Sterling.
What's he done in recent time or for Chelsea to prove that he's world class?
It's been there. It's been about there. It's been winning titles. Been consistent for the last couple of years. You know.
Yes. Juan Mata was also very world class at Chelsea, correct?
Yeah, I would say so.
And he
yeah,
was, world class. I'd say he's. I remember a performance against us where he terrorized us. Do you remember when Gerrard came on?
Who would you what would you define as is Saka world class to you?
Yes.
He is.
Yes.
I think that's wild. So again, we're not understanding what the definition of world class is.
So you're saying Enzo Fernandez is world class then?
No, I didn't say that. I said the chat was saying that Enzo Fernandez is world class. Okay. Yeah. I didn't say he's world class. I don't think he's world class. So the definition of world class nowadays, I think the term is quite lost now. It's either you're elite or you're just a good player.
I think if you're one of the best wingers in the Premier League, you have a right to be called world class for sure.
But then what? But then you haven't done it across Europe. You haven't done it in World Cup. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in that aspect, you need to win Champions
So
League. You need
because
to win
Harry
big
Kane
trophies.
so because Harry Kane hasn't been in Europe for a long time and really hasn't done much on a European stage, is he now not world class?
But again, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to give you the argument that Saka isn't world class or whatnot, but you got to understand the terms. Because now, let's say Rodrigo for Real Madrid. This guy
Yeah.
has performed in Champions League nights, big moments, led Real Madrid to winning the Champions League, been a big part of it. But again, people won't call him world class. So where do we determine what world class isn't and what isn't? Do you see what I mean? Like,
I
we
think you
don't
can
know
just make
what
your own
determines
opinion.
world class.
I think if you're one of the best in your position in the Premier League, that means you're world class. And I don't think you look at Enzo Fernandez and go, wow, you are one of the best centre mids in the league. But I do think you look at Saka and go, wow, you're one of the best wingers in the league. I think there's a lot of teams that would be more than happy to take Bukayo Saka.
I don't. For me, the reason why I don't put Bukayo Saka, and this is the thing, how do you determine it? Because then you got Harry Kane, who's not won anything, but still is a world class striker.
I've just
So
gave
how
you
do you
my
determine
thing.
what world
I've
class
just
is?
gave you my thing. I say if you have been one of the better players for a couple of years in your position, you have a right to be right now called world class. It doesn't mean he will remain to be world class, but right now he's one of the best in that position, in arguably the best and most competitive league in the world. Therefore, I would say that's a decent enough precedence to say he's world class.
I think it's one of them where it's disingenuous to the ones in the past who have been a big factor in winning trophies. Therefore, they deserve to be called world class, not the
But
players who
trophies
have not
isn't the
done
only thing
anything.
that determines being world class, though. That's not the only thing.
People
Like
say
Matt
Champions League.
Letizia, he was world class, correct?
Yeah, I can
Never
agree.
won
I can agree.
trophies. Never won
Yeah,
trophies. Always finished
there you
around
go.
17th and 16th.
Yeah. No, I don't think Rashford is world class. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he is.
I agree.
I
I
don't think
don't
he's
think
ever
he's world
been.
class.
Well, there you go. So it is what it is. Guys, keep smashing the likes up on the video. We're going to talk quickly a bit about United. What are you saying about United? Because he's talking about style of play here and have we progressed, etc., etc. What are you saying? Like, when you look at
Do you want
Man
me to
United
go?
style of football, is it conducive to winning trophies, etc., etc.? What are you saying?
I don't think it's the style of football in which is an issue. I think it's the choice of signings, to be honest. I think Man United fans sound quite contradictory when a lot of them say that they feel so confident about a certain project, but then they're not happy with Mount. They're not happy with certain other signings. The only ones you're really happy with is Onana, Lissandro, Casemiro, fine. But now the improvements that you've made, the so-called improvements, none of them are all that convincing to me. Hoyland's I've got a lot of questions on still. Yes, he's young, he could be a long term, but short term, I'm not sure. Mason Mount, don't rate him and Bruno in the same midfield. I think he can make it work and more balanced if there's one of them, and then you get someone else to play alongside them, say if it's Amrabat, for instance. But yeah, man, I've predicted United won't have that good of a season. It's not an agenda or anything like that. I just don't think he's of because, yeah, for instance, Rance uses the precedence to say, well, we got to 2 finals, therefore we must get better. I don't think that precedence has ever worked. Arsenal won an FA Cup, never got better. We finished in 2 finals in our first season, never got close to a final the season after. So I don't understand why that's a direct correlation to mean you're going to now improve. And I think a lot of United fans think like that, but Ten Hag's a good manager. I just think if he's got the full control at Manchester United, I don't think all of his talent identification has been that good. And that's the bit that I question. But then there's been some that's been brilliant. So I'm not saying he's done an overall bad job.
Casemiro, they've been good signings, but Anthony is a bit of a problem in a sense of we need to see more from him. Mason Mount, I don't know if you've seen what his brother put it up on social media. Did you see what his brother put up on social media?
No?
I need to see where it is. Guys, I don't know. Yeah, he said basically, here it is. I'll put it up on the screen here.
Let's have a look.
Because TalkSport put his stats up
Yeah.
of his game last season. And he wrote here, I've tried to let this go all day, but honestly, shame on you, TalkSport. These players know these players get enough abuse without you adding fuel to the fire. A reminder that he's had a very successful 18-year career in football and he's good, kind human being, more than I can say for some of your reporters. So
Wait there 1
coming in
second.
here,
So what's the stat again? What's the stat?
except for his game. So they're factual stats of his game: 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 chances, 0 chances created, 0 crosses,
What's the
0 tackles
problem
won,
then?
0 aerial duels won.
Okay, so what's the problem and what's abusive about that tweet? And I'm not even a fan
But
of
that's what I'm
TalkSport.
saying. Maybe
I'm
it's
not a fan of
because
TalkSport.
when they put that out there as a media company, it's seen as abuse for players, for then fans to say, you know what, he's shit and he's rubbish and he's this and that and he's blah blah blah, and people then kind of almost latch onto that. But I'm just like, bro, you're in the football world. This is it now. You're at Manchester United.
It's like
You are scrutinized every
it's like
game,
yeah,
good or bad.
me and you sometimes get photos with people when we're out or if we go traveling and whatnot.
Of
If we
course,
complain about people having photos with us, now that's a bit of a weird issue that we've got because we put
yeah.
ourselves in a position where we're probably open to getting a couple of photos in our lifetime. So why would we now complain when that just comes part and parcel with it? You know that you're living in an era where it's very statistical and it's very social media based. Oh, by the way, and this is what I like about Roy Keane, you do not have to be on social media. You're not obliged to be. You can literally get people to sort that out for you. But these players, because they're so used to, they like it when it goes well, so they get the endorphins from scrolling through the comments. It happens with me and you probably when we do a post or a video and we get a lot of positive
Yeah,
feedback. It's good, and then you get bad feedback, and then it's not as good. You feel a little bit worse
that's
now.
what I'm saying.
Don't
Facts.
look
You've
at
got
it. If it affects you, then you're now intruding on your own career by looking at things that directly affect you. Why are you doing that?
yeah,
And there's no point in commenting on something that weren't directly abusive and it was statistical. It was an underwhelming debut for Manchester United's new number 7. And that's all they
yeah,
put in it. Yeah. I think
yeah. No, no, no. Listen,
it's the
the, the the
mentality.
the family have got every right to defend their play. I'm not disputing that, but I think you've also got to know that this is what's going to happen now. These media companies are going to carry their own agenda, especially Talk Sport. If you're then giving I think you're giving more fuel to the fire to Talk Sport, because then you're kind of, now they've got you.
Now
Now
they've
they're
got more
almost
to
like
talk about.
saying, now they've got more to talk about. Oh, now Mason Mount brothers come out and he's thinking we're criticizing him too much and we've put out this and that. Like, you're putting more fuel to the fire. And I just think, for me, concentrate on the football and let the football do the talking. Like, you will get better. There was no need for me for him to kind of come out there. This is my own honest opinion, because now you've put more fire to the situation. Let him get out of the social media. Let them do
That's
what
right.
they've got to do, because that's what Talk Sport do. They're all
Yeah.
about that clicks and whatnot. Let Mason Mount do his business on the pitch, which I think I'm fairly confident that Mason Mount can deliver something for Man United and can achieve something. So let him focus on the football. Don't give him more pressure. That's what I'd say. So again, that's just the way I kind of look at things in life. But again, people will say no, he has to clamp it down. No abuse, no nothing. But we're in a football era now where it's toxic, man. It is
I
toxic,
think Fred
you
was
know.
more adherent. I'm not saying Fred is better. I'm saying Fred was more adherent to your system than what Mason Mount is. Um,
There you go.
So yeah, that's where the big problem lies. If you're getting rid of Fred and he suits your system more, that's now a bit of an issue. You know what I mean? I just don't. It's just the system. It's not the player. I think the player's fine, and I just don't think the player overall improves Manchester United. And I think it can in some ways take away from the team
Wow.
because of the
Spent a lot
systematic
of money,
issue.
man. 60 million.
He might be
But
a
you know
good
what it is
squad
though?
option.
Why do you think Ten Hag is persistent with that mid? Hopefully this is one game only. But do you see where he's coming from in terms of that midfield? Mount, Casemiro, and Bruno, like, because you played Klopp style, right? You've had the Wijnaldum. Who was it? Wijnaldum, Fabinho, and who else was the other player that you had pressing?
It was Wijnaldum, Fabinho, and Henderson.
Yeah, but the two eights in Henderson and Wijnaldum, did they press high up the pitch, or did they
Yes, they
take
were
up a?
running machines. They were running machines. Like they did not stop all game. And it was the high intensity in which it what beat a lot of teams in that time. Like that's how we won most of our games. So if Mount can adapt like the way Genie adapted, because Genie was kind of like a more offensive left mid cam type player at Newcastle and PSV, and then he came to us and became a proper solidified number 8. If Mount can adhere to this the same way Genie did, then yeah, but the two different players. I think Genie was definitely more impressive on a physical sense, reading the game. I thought he was good at timing his tackles. And yeah, he didn't even need to score that many goals for us to play well. He was brilliant. So I'm not too sure. I don't see Mount becoming that type of player, which is what I assume Ten Hag's trying to do. And also, you've got Højlund, who's a big signing. Then you've got Rashford, who's
Yeah,
probably going to play left wing. So now that negates Mount playing left wing. And that forces, you're not going to drop Bruno because he's your captain. And then it would make very little sense to drop Mount because he's now your big new signing and Ten Hag gave him the number 7. So now it sounds like to me that you're going to have to persist with that midfield three. And the only room
That's
for
what I'm saying.
change is either Amrabat for Casemiro if he ends up joining.
Apparently, Amrabat, we're not signing him until we sell 2 players. That's the latest from Fabrizio Romano, which is
Well,
a
that's
bit
got
of
to
a
be like
shit situation.
McTominay. That's got to be like
Yeah.
McTominay and Harry Maguire. You should keep him Harry Maguire, by the way. How mad's that?
And listen, this is what I mean again now. This is where I'm in the great area of abuse now. Where does it go now with Harry Maguire? Because I'm like, I've been trying to say to fans here, do not
Phil
abuse
Jones.
Maguire, do not Phil Jones, don't abuse him, don't criticize him, he's got away, don't boo him. But now he's refusing to leave and now he's staying. The fan base have had enough. So they're gonna do what they want to do. And I'm just like, how do you back a player that you want to say, right, amicable, you leave, you go and further your career, you play for England. For me, if I'm Southgate now, I'm dropping Harry Maguire because now he's refusing to have game time where he's now 5th choice at Manchester United. And it's now a detriment to the England team because if he's not playing consistently well or consistently for England, for his club, how is he going to be like when he plays for England then?
Did you know Harry Maguire staying is your fault? And I mean yours directly, not United fans, yours.
Well, explain.
My explanation needs to be brief. So pretty much you called him Harry Beckenbauer and he has a bit of an overconfidence issue. Now, when he sees absolutely devoted, strong home supporters, you're Manc Said, and you're coming out going, Harry Beckenbauer, this, you're thinking he's going to say, I'm going to fight for the shift. Fans like Said, he's my guy. He's my guy. He believes in me. He knows I can be the best centre-back in the world. I already believe I'm the best centre-back in the world. Therefore, I'm now going to stay, and I'm going to prove everyone wrong. So it's your fault.
But you called Jordan Henderson Hendo Nino. You know what
That's right, and he fucked off to Saudi, so he never stayed, did he?
Well, the money was great, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Give Maguire. How much is he getting, by the way, Henderson?
What about Henderson? He's getting 250. I think it's 300k a week.
300k a week. Then give him that, and then Maguire will leave to Saudi.
The thing is,
I didn't boost
you only need ballers. See, Saudi only need ballers. They don't need Maguires. You get what I'm saying? They need ballers, bro.
He's not a baller, mate. But I said that 3 years ago, and opinions change. Things happen. Maguire is no longer Beckenbauer. Maguire is no longer even Maguire now. He's playing like a guy who's never was.
Again, you need to correct your word in chat. Did you hear that? No longer, like as if Harry Maguire was ever that standard.
He had a first good season.
Now, good is a very overused term in the modern day. Can we both agree?
When you were first in everything and we had a defense that was solid as well. Listen, I'm not going to gloss over it. He was decent. He was good. Whatever you want to call it. But it's time to go. It's time to go. As once the late Claude says, big up to Claude. But it's time to go. We've had enough. Now move. Get the signal. We have had enough. So please, take your bags, leave. Ma'asalam. See you later. Door's yours. Come on, man. What do you want at United? You're not even... Lindelof came on yesterday ahead of him. And Luke Shaw would have been ahead of him had we had another injury at centre-back. Luke Shaw would have been ahead of him. So come on, man. Listen, look at the chat, man. It's mad.
Did you know that Harry Maguire is England's best centre-back according to the manager?
Again, the manager's absolutely such a hypocrite. He said, "I'm going to pick players."
You haven't heard what I've just said. Your manager said it. You've got England's best centre-back. Your manager said that. England's
that's to raise his price. That's to let people know you guys want him. Do you guys want him?
Okay, did he follow saying Harry Maguire is the best English centre-back by saying, I'm doing this to sell him? Did he say that? No.
Did he say that?
No. So you're just assuming, Saeed. It might be a good point. You might be telling facts, but tell me some direct evidence. All I've got so far is your manager believes he's got the best English centre-back in the world. Therefore, he's highly rated.
You know what he said about Ronaldo? You know what he said about David De Gea?
Yeah.
You know what he said about Maguire before he got the captain?
Yes.
He said things and they left.
Yes.
Do you understand that? So everything.
But Harry Maguire's still here.
No, but the thing is though, he's refusing now to go.
And he said
this
is
not because of Ten Hag. And he said this is because our fucking football club has allowed this to happen. Our football club has given him a 7-year contract.
I am here for you, bro.
Nothing to do with him. He's got 2 years left on his contract. It's not down to Ten Hag. It's down to this football club for allowing this guy to have a 7-year contract. It's a joke.
Chat. Can we all just get the tears emojis in the chat for by any chance? Also, maybe some salt emojis.
I had to let that one out, man, because you got under my skin there, so I had to let that one out.
I'm here for you, bro. I'm here for you. If you ever need to rant, I'm here to listen.
Yeah, man. Just imagine one player in your team that you wanted to get rid of. You name me a player that you've always thought, please leave.
That's Adrian.
Come on, man. He's a softie, man. He's, you know what I mean? He's just holding the background.
Adrian
I need a better
would
player.
probably be my biggest problem in recent years. Nah, I don't know. There will be someone. I just can't think of it right now.
Yeah, anyway, but everyone's got that one player in their team anyway. That's in there that they don't really fancy. So it is what it is, but we have to move, man. We have to move. It is what it is. Anything else in terms of the Premier League that you've loved over the weekend? Anyone that you're fearing? Anyone that you think,
I don't know. I think City are going to stomp on everyone again. You know,
De Bruyne is out, though, man. They're getting
they'll play better without him, probably.
By the way, why didn't you go in for Laporte? He's now gone to Saudi Arabia.
Why don't we go in for Laporte?
Yeah.
You think we've got bread like that?
No, but you need a centre back, though.
Do you think City? Yeah. So there's a couple of questions we need to answer. First of all, City needs to say yes. Second of all, we need to couple the money and the wages. And thirdly, we need to offer more wages than what Saudi would be willing to offer. Otherwise, there's no incentive for him to leave. Really, like Laporte doesn't care about game time, bro. He's just happy being on nice wages at City. And then, and how much is he on at City? If it's north of 200k, oh no, am I back?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Yeah. If it's north of 200k, then I don't know. I'd take him, but I mean, yeah, bro, I don't think that's even. We don't look in certain fields like Joshua Kimmich. We don't get Laporte. We don't get. It's one of those.
Now, listen, you know what it is with City, though, yeah? They're going to get Paqueta. They're getting their Doku. I think they've got the team around it to still be strong next season. But I do think the gap's going to be a bit closer than what people assume. Like, they're going to have games where I thought, to me, that they looked better. Sorry, they didn't look great in the against Burnley. They looked a bit like, they didn't look like as fluid as I thought they would. So listen, Man City, it's Pep Guardiola really that we have to worry about. That's the main thing, isn't it? Pep Guardiola is the glue in that aspect.
That's right. That's right. He knows how to make those players gel. That's right.
Yeah. Newcastle for me, you know what it is, yeah? I think with Newcastle, right? I think for me, we have to wait until the Champions League. When them Champions League nights hit and they've got 2 games a week, that's when I can say, right, what are you guys on? What are you guys about? But, bro, they've got a big, you know what it is with them here now? The midfield's scary. The attack is scary. Their defense is still strong. They've got a good keeper. They've got a good manager. They've got a good group of fans. They've got everything going well for them in that aspect.
Yeah.
Like, you know
They're
what?
really
They're serious, man.
They're really good. They've got a great group of fans. Like, if there's one club that I'm actually kind of looking for, because they're a proper club as well. Like, I don't know why I associate them as a proper club and City not. I think it's because of the order around both. I think Newcastle have got a certain order that for some reason, even after a treble, City just don't have. That's not even shade on City because they've literally ruined my recent years with the fact they've taken trophies off me and whatnot. But it's just one of those things where I don't think. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, obviously, we don't like them, but there's just, even after winning the champion, it's like nothing. It's like no one talks about them except themselves. I mean, we'll talk about them because they're in the Premier League and they dominate the Premier League, but I just mean the way you talk about other teams, like it's more personal. It's a bit more vicious, whereas you say City this and then you disregard. I don't know how that works, but yeah, bro. Yeah, I think Newcastle, they have like that fan base, bro. Like they're ones that'll be able to get under your skin when they do get to a certain point. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they'll know how to. They'll be shameless with it. So with Tonali, Grimares, like Trippier, that's like just that team. Isaac, even Harvey Barnes will come in and be a decent player.
He's a quality player, man.
They've got 50 million. Anthony Gordon just on the bench, just relaxing. I don't even rate him that much. But
he looked good, yesterday. He looked good on Saturday,
He can be a big help for them. He can be a big help to them overall, you know what I mean? And to win the first game by that margin against Aston Villa, I mean, the cohesion in that team's beautiful right now, and everyone just seems really happy there. And I think they love to play in front of fans who make noise. And I think there's very
Yeah,
few teams who make more noise than Newcastle. So
yeah, no, 100%. They're
it's good.
loud for me, man.
It's good. Do you
Hundred
reckon they'll
percent,
get top
man.
four
I said they're gonna finish seventh. You know,
after seeing that first game? Do you still hold that?
no, because we're gonna change our big six predictions, and I'm gonna put Newcastle higher. Uh, I don't know
Yeah,
what it is, but I still think they'll finish around that area, top five. I reckon they can get top five. I reckon they can.
that's a
So
great
let's see
comment
what
from.
happens.
Yeah, that's a
What was
great
that?
comment from someone about Chelsea and Newcastle being the dark horses this year. I do think that they'll them two are ones to watch because they're going to be the two new teams that I think just really break into it. Even though
Yeah,
Newcastle got top four last season, but seeing them sustain that would actually be more impressive to me because I think anyone can have a mad good one-off season if they
yeah,
sustain it with like they've bought, but they haven't bought abnormally more than anyone else. You know what I mean? Like they've still went out and just got like good players that other teams could potentially get. Do you get what I mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah, no, 100%. I think ultimately as well, though, you got to remember, um, these teams are still developing. Like Newcastle, they haven't spent like what Chelsea has spent, and I thought they would do that, but they haven't done that. They haven't spent the Neymars and the players like that we thought they were going to buy, and these
yeah,
ridiculous, ridiculously good players. They haven't. So you know what? Like fair play to them, man. Newcastle, yeah, they're probably here to stay. So good luck to them, man. Um, anyone that you thought down below that you were worried about? Wolves. Talk to me about Wolves. Do you think now? Because I put them down to be relegated, but I
yeah.
see them now, and I'm like, okay,
I think you made
I've
them
got
look good.
that's what I'm saying. Spot
I
on.
think you made
Spot
it.
on.
I think it was just the midfield battle that they kept winning. You know what I mean? And I just think that allowed them to continue to get in the game. I don't know. Yeah, that was a tough one for Wolves. I don't think they'll be that good in the season. I think you aren't quite in your full stride simultaneously with them just matching your performance. Maybe they were just very motivated for it, but to sustain that
Yeah.
over 20 games, I think they'll stay up. I don't think they'll do it convincingly though. I do think they're going to have a bit of a either an average season or a below par season. I don't think we see them finishing in the Europa League like what they were doing a couple of years ago or anything like that. Because
Yeah.
I don't know, they had like
No,
a proper
100%.
real spell there with Portuguese players, but now I just think the standards have increased in terms of expectation and finishing in Europe where they're making so many chops and changes. Now it's like they're building a new team, if that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't trust them. I'm still shaky on West Ham.
West Ham. You know what? Did they win on the weekend or did they drew? They drew. Who did they win on the weekend? Was it a draw?
I'm not too
West
sure.
Ham?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you see Everton lose? Did you see the way they
Guess what?
lost?
I've got to go. Guess. Yeah, I know, mate. Listen,
Bro,
they've problem. They lost to a Fulham team without Mitrovic as well.
Bro, did
It's
you see the amount of
crazy.
chance? They had like 2.93 XG or something crazy like that.
I know they
And
battered them. They
yeah,
battered
bro,
them.
and then they never they just could not friggin' win at all. Like that Everton, they've always had a problem with strikers, bro. Always. Even when Richarlison was there, I was like, he's shit. Like he's not a
Yeah.
proper number
Since
9.
Lukaku and and
Eh,
Tim Cahill, they've not had a proper
Yeah,
striker.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Duncan Ferguson's, you
Tim
know what I mean?
Cahill weren't even like out and out striker, but he
No.
still was a better striker than like a lot of number 9s they've got in recent time. Like Richarlison was always overrated forever, and everyone just thought we hated him because he was a bastard against us, which he was. But he was also just
Yeah.
not that good. And then I think he's proven that at Tottenham as well. He's nice in some aspects, but like Anthony's nice in some aspects. It doesn't mean that he's going to be an effective player in a Premier League team. You know what I mean? Um,
Boy. Listen, man, he's just get on his right foot, man, and
Shout
do
out to
something, man.
Yakubu as well, man. Yakubu did
Yakubi,
bits back
yeah,
in the day, bro.
Yakubi was quality, man. Yakubi was
He was a
quality.
monster.
Um, yeah, there was a couple that were flops, like Royce and Drenfe and all them players, like they were
Chad, do
flops.
you remember how?
Yeah, me.
Do you remember Zaha? Because obviously he played for you, didn't he? Zaha, and then he went to Everton.
Zaha, yeah, he was good. He was decent.
Yeah, no, he was.
He was
He was a
decent.
sound player. He was a sound player. Do you remember when he weren't a good player for them? Do you remember when they signed Samuel Eto'o?
Oh my days, man. That was crazy. That was crazy. Oh my
Samuel
days.
Eto'o was a mad signing for them.
You know who I just think for me, he's just had a not a great career is Dominic Calvert-Lewin, man. Like,
Oh,
what is
bro, that
like
guy is just gone
injuries,
bam,
man?
bam, 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 bam. Like it all started when he started doing those modelling photos and whatnot and wearing the mad wig
Yeah,
out.
man.
And then
Like, focus on
injuries have just
football,
kept him
man.
on the sidelines.
Yeah, he's 26 now, man. He needs to just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think sometimes your career's over, man. You know what I mean? If you just, call it injured. Brighton were very good, Brighton were decent. I
Yeah.
enjoyed Brighton, They look good, And you know
Deserby's
what?
a
Again,
top coach, lad.
top coach. Top coach, mate. You know what? Fair play to him. Fair play to him.
Top
But
coach.
listen, people, we're gonna
He'll
wrap
be
it up here.
he'll be solid.
We're gonna wrap it up here, people. Big up to everybody who's here. By the way, are you on fantasy? By the way, are you on fantasy?
No. Nah, I don't
Oh,
do it. Why are you doing it?
yeah, I'm on fantasy. So if you guys want to join my league, people, join my league. But yeah, listen, I think where am I in my fantasy? I'm very, very low. There's a guy on my fantasy who's got 105 points in the first week. That's not normal, is it? I got 57. But yeah, I'm
This is
1,314th in my league. I think there's
Saeed,
about
you're so shit. How are you
1,400.
gonna make your own league and not even be able to win it? Like, come on.
Listen, last year I was like 920 and there was 940 because I just abandoned it. But this year I'm on it. I'm on it this year. So guys, if you're on it, you're on it. I'm not messing around. Every week I'm dedicated. What I've done is on Thursdays, I've set my schedule so that I give myself 1 hour a day to sort my fantasy out on a Thursday. So I'm ready. Yeah. So don't worry, man. I need to drop
Chat,
some people in
this
there.
is an easy W. As long as you finish above Saeed in his own league, that's a flex. That's a flex.
Yeah. That's a flex. Yeah, yeah. So do that and then we'll see it. The code for the link, people, I'll put it into the community page again. But the code, let me just put it right now. 1 second. I've got it here. Yeah, the code is C1 ATXI. That's the code, people. If you want to join my league, that's the code. So yeah, man, big up to everybody who's locked in. James, big up to you, my friend.
Big up to you, brother.
What are you saying, Mo? What you got coming up?
Oh, I have more content throughout it. There's 2 videos out on the channel already. One of them around Chelsea's FFP situation. So if you want to go and check that out, great. This morning was about Klopp kind of moaning a lot recently. So done a video on that. There'll be a couple more. And then there'll be a stream tonight. I would estimate at about 9 p.m. So tune into that if you're free, or watch it once it's fully finished. And yeah, man, appreciate the time.
Yeah, big up to you, man. Big up to
Appreciate the
everybody.
slander,
mate. Liverpool can hold that. But next week, you never know what's going to happen, people, man. It could be Man United to hold it. We got to play Tottenham.
When
So
you
you
lose
never
the
know,
top, I was
people.
going to say, yeah, when you lose the Tottenham.
Yeah, listen, I'm not looking forward to it, man. But it is what it is. I'll take another 1-0, mate. It's that kind of time now. Already, I'll take a 1-0. But listen, people, like the video, people. I don't know how many likes we're on right now. Let me just quickly check because I haven't demanded the likes. But we've hit 650. I'll take that. Even though it should be more, I've got to be humble. But guys,
let's get that to 800. Let's get that to 800, like right now, chat. Like, let's not even take the mix. He's just being humble. Get that to 800, please. And yeah, then now it's worth our time. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, people. Like the video on your way out. I'll be back at 5 p.m. for Mandem Talk. We're out.